Hello, this video will cover ACT test number 40 and reading section, passage 3 and 4. Okay, when you look at the reading passage, always go to the question first. And then we understand and we do whatever we can do. So, point of view from which of passage narrator can describe point of view. 22, which of following summarize emotional shift. Fuente, present, fuente. The fifth last paragraph, really. So 90, 24. And then 19. 85, 26. There is a band's initial opinion about Latin music. Anxious 36, 20, 36. And then 29, 63. Law 29. And 30, 83. Okay, it says Mambo King. And then 1966, the age of 15, I was a member of rock group South Bronx, and then practiced our songs in the basement apartment building off 169th Street and the 3rd Avenue. Once or twice a week, I would make the trip to the Bronx from the Manhattan with my father, and while down below, we youngsters pursue our noisy music education. Buzz amplifier, $10 microphone, adults gather upstairs and third floor apartment, 8 talk and listen to the music. Our breaks, we would head upstairs and grab some food, and that congenial atmosphere, congenial means friendly. We mix with adults. Congenial, mix with, we amuse our preoccupation rock. Sitting with the 8, the music played in stereo console. American, the music, the great Mambo orchestra, but and then there's this, okay, so 25. Congenial, friendly, so accepting. Or like, mixed together. They actually like doing something together. That's good. And then, of course, teenagers smitten by American pop culture. We sort of only have listened to music. We consider Latin music archaic, which is old. Parents' music was kind of music we have been hearing every day our lives on the 10th Street and people living room in the car. Time for something new. What went through our hands of Latin music was so much, in part growing up in New York, that I took granted, and then the snow music, Beatles, inspired to this heartlessness, the Tito Puentes playing Block Party. Come on, let's go. We swamped out behind him and anxious about missing something special. So he's like he's a really famous guy, I guess. Anxious about missing something special, which means, yeah, Jay, legends perform. The block party was up East Fordham Road around Roosevelt high school. We arrived while the band was performing one of Tito's classics, El Cayuco, Oye Como Va, Ran Kan Kan, and blah blah blah, and the hot dogs part. Chorizo sandwich, soda, woman danced, and most of men too in t-shirt and guayaberas, and were happy with them. It was hot day. The worked our way through all people towards stage. There on the plumber's pipe platform were trombonists, a saxophone player, a few trumpeters, pianist, cello, banging congas and bongos and blah blah blah. So the different types of the musical instruments, right? And perform the sublime Hong Kong mambo. And when you're a young musician, think you are, watch everything real musicians does. So I observed Fuentes carefully to perform legally and work in kind of queer as the street venues. So so much party history in New York, Latin music. For the bedroom is a sloth music off, but the player played his heart out and he froze time and then dissipate heat and sheer heart. Okay, 29 first, 29 sloth. Sloth, it says, would have been easy for him to sloth and easy for him to slack off, right? And then, but he played his heart out. So it's like opposite to heart out, so slack off. See. And then last paragraph. He went in jams along sort of members during his play his drum as if there was no tomorrow. So it's like same thing. He's like putting his everything, little tune, the music flow, elongate barrels of mischief, like this music plays. From the time arrived, he and his band played for another hour. And not once give impression he wanted the party to be over, most beautiful, and this now at the rooftop chanting Tito, and bowing the audience and send kids flying and walk off stage. The lead singer Santiago, who had passed the concert, jumping up and down, and the place scrambled toward him. That's line 30, question 30, passed. Lead singer Santiago, who had blank concert, jumping up and down, blank and scrambled. Okay, let's do, continue on. Had passed, had blank, had continued, had succeeded, had gone by, had experienced. Sounds like experience is the best one, right? Who had experienced the concert, jumping up and down, the place scrambled toward him. He caught Tito's ear, yes, phrase, soy bariquet, and to, I don't know, Puerto Rican, and Tito nodding, called him aside and listened to Santiago's story. 19 years old and wanted to be a great musician like you, wanted to eavesdropping. Heard Tito word, I will look out for you, kid. Much success. Okay, 26 first. They're Puerto Rican, so they're like connect to each other. They're both Puerto Rican, that's why it's an H connection. And then 24. Relationship to community. Puente is very positive person, overbearing through committed. Possibly distracted, no. Supportive and loyal, yes. And famous, therefore isolated, no. H. Loyal, that's why he even took care of Santiago. Point of view is, I mean, if you think about entire passage, the tense, it is all past tense. So it's like, remembering is like, all time, which is a following summarize emotional shift. In the beginning, later it's like, admiration, right? It's like, in the beginning, he's talking about more of whatever they're actually like, enjoy the music together with adults. And then later on, that's more about he, like, um, he's like, impressed by like Tito's music. So after narrator moved this, no, young musician moved from merely accepting the music, yes, to deeply identifying, because Latin music. In the beginning says that, the Latin music is old, the mambo is old, but now it's like appreciate that. Fuente is very positive person, right? So his heart out, so to speak. 27, initial opinion on Latin music was not something fun. Arcade, which is old. A. Move on to the next one. Main purpose, and reasonably infer most important, right? Intense research into insect disposal occurred. 73 is 33, 73, 33. 9 is 34. And then compared to insect spiders, main purpose 52, 36, right? 36. 37, suppose scientists exactly repeat the condition, specific condition, right? And 69, 38, 69. 38. Limitation. Author most nearly characterized type of reason, seasonal immigration made monarch butterfly as. Okay, let's read now. Which respond. Breeze begin with air heated over the worm and mass seas and then expand the rise. Thermals are column of rising warm air. Okay. No other class of animals live so starkly at the mercy of wind as the insect. Benign and gentle, and convective form, wind plucks up bugs by the millions and trillions every day and scatter them widely. This is not to say disperse the random biologists have often seen insects choose a precise moment to set out. This randomness near wind isn't likely arrive a protected food-rich habitat. Once aloft, let's do 34 first. Parentheses in line this. Parentheses is usually explaining about something. So why do you think that author has to explain about something? Undermine means weaken, the scientists claim no. Suggest the biologists that divided it over whether no. Support the assertion that wind effects prevent readers from misunderstanding. So explaining something to prevent misunderstanding. And then it says horizontal currents ferry them onward. Often they drift all night in the atmosphere, and layers of different densities, and sort of compressing them into slum through honeycombs and thermal, land lightly the rogues, paradise, flowers garden, and the newly cultivated, build the vegetables, and they may be accosted by freshening gale, tossed out to sea and slammed rudely into water. Many insects wingless is their larval form, and then they ride the breeze, and then suddenly during the 1950s, carried wind and the intrigued oasis showed an uncanny neck, finding potted alfalfa plant out of them. Balloon riding crew at altitude trimmed the length of silk with them. At present, scientists not know whether the insects were wayfarers have anything but crudest ability to navigate from one habitat to another. Until 1920s, researchers were unaware. So 1920s, they actually tried to research first insects can survive well up into troposphere, lowest in the century. In 1827, again 1926, British archaeologists had been carried by wind from the Russia 800 miles away. Monarch butterfly had been observed 500 miles land over South Pacific. Once swarm of migratory locusts seen over the North Atlantic, 1,500 miles from the land, with a spread of tree destroyed European gypsy. During early 19th, researchers into dispersal insects took a special urgency. 36. Main purpose of this one. So how, we get to know about from 37 to this 37 researchers were unaware that. Okay, it's sort of showing that how far the wind can carry those insects. So, okay, so it says like 500 and 800 miles and stuff like that. And then also, I believe some of the question I can do here, like monopore, I think. I don't know, let's just continue. In 1926, hold on a second. Yeah, I can do this one, 32, 1920s, right? That's the timeline. 1926, this guy, Gleek, the scientists tried to examine life in such a height, 200 feet. He found a great number, diversity of insects. He caught by far 5 and 8 miles an hour. Lesser wind, it's a greater wind, nearly impossible. I think this is like sort of condition they're giving, 300, 200 feet, and then 5 to 7. That's like the time that, they can go 5 to 7, which is this one, 37 is above 300 feet, insect population rapidly thin. Nevertheless, Leak found a few spiders flying high, as though this is driven. But one day, the plane encountered the turbulent air, caught many more bugs than did. 5 years ago, we trapped 700 identifiable species. We calculate the N of 14 million insects. Okay, 38. Caught many more bugs. Previously, it said that something about the above 300 feet, the population thinned, right? But then somehow, it says but on the day. So it shouldn't have that many bugs, but then somehow some days that they found some bugs in even 1,000 feet. So that's why what kind of condition that they're saying? Oh, turbulent air. Also, let's bring it up, right? So G, okay. And then, it says leak trap to 700 identical species. Any summer day, it is, well, Louisiana contained more than 14 million insects. So 33. Stamen line, asbestos characterized. So it's sort of like giving us that, you know, the general idea is above 300 feet, not many, but then, like, you know, sometimes turbulent air, you can have, like, you know, a lot of them. Also, like 700, like, that's only like 700, but then Louisiana, they have more than 14 million insects and stuff like that. So it's like some example, like the exceptions that, you know, is sort of showing. Also C, expand out, right? And then move on to next one. Many insects travel at night, presumably to avoid the upper air turbulence caused by convection. So it's coming up. Individual migrate more than 5 miles over the course of their lives, and few species embark on lengthy seasonal movement, and then largely because the proximate favorable avenue of wind. So because of wind, they can seasonal movement. Seasonal movement I see from when the question talks about seasonal movement. I remember. Okay, let's go move on. Mexico Bolivaro finding this. Okay, so main purpose of this passage is talking about how wind affects migration of insects. Hey, move on to 35, spider part. I think I remember spider. Oh no, let me just read this. Some scientists speculate that compared to many insects, spider may be, I think they can survive more, I think, something like that. Yeah. It says at line 31, some investigators speculate spiders and other balloon-riding creatures control their altitude by tuning, and that's one part. And also another part it talks about spiders can survive higher altitude as well, something like that. So going here, yeah, A, because they can get on the hot air balloon. The limitation is like case by case. They see. I mean, he sees that, you know, different area, different things that are happening. So something exceptional case that you see that you cannot like measure, which is C, the convection current. Type of seasonal right here. 5, 4, 4, 5 is the seasonal one at the end. Okay, the butterfly species ride jets of warm air north and then coming of spring. So hold on a second. This is line 77. Only a few species embark on lengthy seasonal movement, and because it's approximately a favorable avenue wind to monarch butterfly migrating from the east United States to the overwintering grounds. This is a follow route parallel to major flyway in the north. Oh yeah, in the beginning it says they try to like avoid that, you know, upper air turbulence, but then sometimes like this, a few species like the spiders, I mean the monarch butterflies, they use this one, so that's why it is F. Unusually using this seasonal turbulence, I mean whatever turbulence, then so that they can migrate to something else. Okay, that's it for these two passages again. I'll come back with the science section. Okay, see you soon.